Hi guys, how are you doing? Hope you are well and safe and having a great day. I'm having a great day, nice and toasty in my studio. It's absolutely blowing a gale outside. We've got the tail end of a storm. I can't remember what it was called. Hit it on Saturday, I think. Put a lot of electricity out across the country. But we've been pretty well okay in the Midlands, not been it too bad. Today seems the worst day of all, and it's really blowing and it's raining, it's wet, but I'm toasty as I say, and having a great day. I have been out and about sketching in the wild, in the big wide world with my iPad. Took my iPad out there and did some live sketching, and then from that live sketching I produced this pastel drawing. So why sketching? Why not just use photos? Let's get into the video and find out my thoughts. I'm in Krita and I'm going to do a pastel painting, but first I'm going to load in my source image. So I'm going to click on the pin icon, choose tool options, click on the plus to add a reference image and choose my source photo. And you might be thinking, hey Steve, that looks like a sketch, looks like something you've already done. Well, it is exactly that. I'm just going to click back on the brush again and move over to sort of center it all a little bit. That's exactly what I've done. I've been out sketching live. A mate of mine says, hey Steve, he's just bought an iPad and he's a photographer really, a graphic designer, and he says, I've got this iPad and I want to go out sketching, do you fancy coming with me? I thought, that's not anything I've ever really done. So I says, yeah, okay. And I loved it. I've been out and I don't know, I've got about 10 sketches so far over 2 sessions. Spend about 15-20 minutes sketch, something like that. But it's been, we've sort of give up after 2 or 3 hours because it's so cold, and we go and find a tea shop or something like that to warm ourselves up a bit. I better start drawing, aren't I? So what I've been doing is sketching, and it's just took me back to how I used to work. One time a day, I never worked off photos. I only worked off sketches, and there's a reason for that. And I'd forgotten because it's been such a long time since I've actually been out sketching. I could have just loaded this image in to work from again, couldn't I? This is going to be a pastel sketch. I'm just sort of getting the main things in. And if you take a photo of a scene, quite often you'll get home and you'll look at the photo and you think, why did I take that photo? I can't remember what interested me about that scene, unless it's something, you know, really particular, like the one I did the other week with the patterns of the lane leading up to the little barn house and so on. I've taken photos and think, I don't understand why I've taken that at all. But when you do a sketch, for me, I seem to remember so much more why I did the sketch and what interested me in it. So I always used to work this way. I never took photos, and I just used to work from sketches. So a couple of questions. One is, would you be interested in seeing me out there in the wild? When I say in the wild, I mean walking along some well laid out path where I'm not going to get lost. Doing some sketching with my mate, because he's done a lot of video work, and he's volunteered, sort of volunteered he did suggest it, so I'm going to take him up on it. He said he'd do the filming for me, so I thought that'd be really cool. Would you be interested in that? Comment please in the comments below. I just want to change the background colour of my pastel painting, so I'm going to press F3, click on the colour, and let's change it up a bit. What am I going? It is sort of autumnal, isn't it? So, oh, that might be quite nice. I do like bright coloured backgrounds. I'm using these. You may, I mean, I'll talk about this a lot. I use this background file, I guess. It's much more than just an image. This background preset. So basically, it sets up all of these layers, and I'll put a link to the video that explains this in more detail and where to get it from. It's a free download, and I just press F3 on this layer to change the background, and then I can come in and do some undercolor painting on there. And I'm just wondering, is that the layer I did the sketch on? I just started. It is. Okay, that's okay. It doesn't really matter too much. I've got two layers I can work on, where these two layers will, whatever colour I put on, say I choose a big pastel, and I'm going to kind of make this autumnal if I can. I don't know why is that dark? I've just chosen better. If I zoom in, we should still see that background texture. Just wonder if you, yeah, you can see it. See the texture's still there. And then if I come a bit higher up, there's another layer I can work on. Oh, this is so fiddly. Where if I paint here, it would actually block out the actual texture, and you wouldn't see it at all. So if I zoom in now, you can see the difference between the two. There we go, look. But let's clear that layer. Come back to the underpainting, zoom back out again, and I'm going to start work. So yeah, the sketch just gives me so much ideas. I've never tried it with pastels before, so it's going to be interesting to see what I come up with. I'm using, what pastel I'm using, the 8 Impact. That might be a decent one to start with. I'm wondering if I need, so keep touching that, a bit grayer. It was a nice blue sky actually that day. It's windy today though. We've been hit by an absolute mental storm. You might even be picking up on the recorder. Quite scary really. This tree's been blown down, and I'm looking, I've got a neighbour's tree, and it's sort of 40 foot tall. It's absolutely massive, and I'm just waiting for it to come down. Everything was sort of, you know, there's not a lot of green around because it's the winter months. And I like doing sketching, going out doing sketching. Why don't I go out and do the full blown painting while I'm out there? And the answer to that is, well, I can do 5 or 6 sketches in a couple of hours and have material to work with, or I can do one finished painting and just and that would be it. And I like the idea of being able to take away source material for a lot more ideas than just the one painting. So that's why I like to sketch, and I sketch standing up as well. My mate was going, I don't understand why you're not sitting down. He's got a nice, takes himself a sort of a camping chair and sketches from that. Where I just like to stand up because I can move around and I see something. I just put my sketchbook out and I'm working within in minutes. I don't have to start getting chairs out and setting things up and things. So there's that. Right. What I want to talk to you about is I've made quite a few videos for YouTube now. Something in the region of 800 art-based videos, and I have to say, I'm beginning to struggle with new ideas to come up with. For future videos. So what I'm hoping is you guys can maybe help me out and suggest what with a few suggestions for future videos, because I'm beginning to think I'm repeating myself, and I can paint all day long. That's not the problem. I've had this discussion with Special K this morning. I can paint all day long, but it's putting a reason for the painting for the video. I could just paint and enjoy it, and that be it for the painting's sake. But that's not enough. You need a topic. I've done all this with one pastel brush so far, haven't I? I don't really feel a need for. So yeah. So in the comments, please, I'd appreciate it if you could come up with some ideas, or I like that colour. That's not kind of. If I'm going for a blue, I need to be cooler under the spectrum. That's it. Maybe towards that green. There we go. Yeah, come up with some ideas for me for future videos. I'm really sort of struggling at the minute, sort of each week coming up with new ideas. Let's try this hard pastel. Oh, it's pastel 3 legacy, it says. Hmm. sort of sharpening up a few bits of detail. This is a nice, it's softer feel to this pastel. I'm liking that a bit. Looks like I've sort of smudged it a bit and blended it out. We take this blending stump as well and just do a bit of smudging. Softening some edges. Yeah, I quite like that. I'm liking this orange colour there as well. I don't know if I'm going to put any oh, I've still got the blender on. What's this one? Wibbly lines. I don't know. Not enough control on that one. Impact green. Some of these that seem to be difficult to control. This one I know's an absolute doddle. I like this one. That's cool. It's getting the happy medium. Oh. Liking that. And I like to do juxtaposition of colour or tone, where I've got so this dark against the light and light against the dark. It's always good to keep your eye open where you can sort of fit that in. Here we go. Yeah, it's going out sketching and then taking that sketch and making something, like a studio piece of it. Gives purpose to the sketch as well. Oops. Change that round a bit. I've got a tree here, but I don't even think I need to put that in. I think it works without that. I'm really liking this. use a square brackets just to make my brush change the size of the brush. Put a few twigs in here. Might try the pencil actually. No, I don't like that. Looks like a pencil. Maybe that wiggly line. Try this one. Get a bit thicker. A bit thicker still. Yeah, that's looking good. Well, that works great for that. The only thing is, I think it's a distraction. I think it's better without it. So I'm going to leave it off, but I might just flick a few grasses in with it. Come to the light colour. And another thing, when you go out painting, you go out outside painting, you meet some really interesting people. We met a couple. It was on this walk where I did this sketch actually, and they'd been we went to a place called Cork Park. It's sort of labelled the unstately home because it's sort of still in a semi-derelict state. But we met this couple, and for 30 years they'd been going to the park, and they lived about a 40-minute drive away. But for 30 years they'd been coming and sitting on the same tree trunk, sort of fallen down tree, and that was sort of their tree, and they sat on it, and we talked to them, and they shared stories with us. In fact, I did a sketch of them while we was chatting. They were just having a rest. They looked like they were in maybe the 70s or something like that, and it was nice the fact that they shared the fact that that this log was theirs, similar to this one I'm drawing now, but it was much bigger, and it did make a nice seat, So there was that. I think that's it. Let's just get it signed. So going out sketching, I can't believe I haven't done it for such a long while, because it just puts a totally different slant. Whoops, dropped my glasses. A totally different slant on your artwork, and that to me looks really fresh and lively and different to a lot of things I've been doing lately. So I encourage you to get out. We actually sketched on iPads, not paper, and that caused a lot of interest as well. People were coming up saying, "Oh, what are you doing? That's amazing! You can draw on an iPad. Oh, technology, fantastic!" So you get to talk to a lot of people, meet a lot of people. Found a nice coffee shop. We didn't sort of go on any mad treks where we had to do any climbing. It was all sort of nice, gentle footpaths, really easy to navigate, and it just sort of totally refreshed my art. I just had a great time. So I'm encouraging you to get out there and do some sketching, and then come back and do a studio piece of your sketch. And that took me 23 minutes with a bit of talking in between to produce that. So probably the same amount of time as it took me to do the original sketch, maybe. But it looks much more like a finished piece, and you can do a lot more. I could now do a watercolour of that as well. That might be interesting. I might do the same scene as a watercolour. In fact, I probably will, because that would be an interesting exercise. Anyway, there you go. Please leave your comments below on what you'd like to see me to do in the future, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, big thumbs up as always is much appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because I've got lots of videos like this and I would love to be sharing them all with you. So don't forget, everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and keep painting, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.